concept of school choice is that parents should have the right in education, as they do in every other sphere of their lives, to choose what best suits their children. They can choose their car, they can choose their refrigerator, they can choose their washing machine, they can choose their carpeting, they can choose their plumber, their electrician, but they can't choose the single most important thing in the world to them and their family, their school and their teacher. Instead, they're assigned their school and they're assigned their teacher.
Sometimes I've been puzzled as to why we don't see more parents who have children in these failing schools stand up and scream bloody murder. I don't understand why there's not outrage. I mean, I don't get it, especially in the minority community. Why is it that you don't see a revolution, people saying, you know what, this is, you talk about a civil rights movement, this is a need for a civil rights revolution right here, right now, with regard to what's going on in so many of our big city schools. And when I've asked superintendents and teachers and the like, they say, well, people don't like to condemn a school system or a school when they know they really don't have a choice. Well, there's the answer. Give them a choice. Give them the opportunity to judge teachers and superintendents and administrators who are so concerned about their pensions, their pay, concerned about everything but the education of that student. You want to create a situation where teachers who succeed, who are proven educators, are the ones who are getting the rewards, that they are being paid in terms of performance. You want to create a situation where success pays off for everybody, for the student and for the teacher. So this is about choice. This is about empowering parents. This is about American exceptionalism in my book.
So how could it be that this great country, that in so many ways dominates the world militarily, culturally, economically, yes, in every way, that one area in which this country does not lead the world and does not dominate the world is in our education system? How did that come to be?
And this is the time to demand school choice. This is the time to break that union control of the schools. This is the time to bring merit pay for teachers. I want good teachers to make $100,000 a year. The stuff they do is more important than the stuff any of the rest of us does. And it deserves higher compensation. It deserves to be well paid. You know, 40% of the education dollar is not spent in the classroom. It's spent on the bureaucracy. So there's this whole move that public schools became run for the benefit of the teachers and the bureaucrats, not for the benefit of the students and the parents. And we have got to break that system, and this is the time.
Choice is simply a lever. Choice is a way back to making sure that California and Ohio and any school you go to, it's the right to go where there is excellence and opportunity. I want you to do me a favor tonight. If you will remember this, schoolchoiceweek.com. schoolchoiceweek.com. If you will send your friends an email tonight and say, please visit this website and please do what they ask, which is simply to be involved in something next week. that underscores the consensus. As I said to Dick yesterday on the radio show, as I've said to many people about this, and I've interviewed lots we'll talk about tonight, I spend a lot of time on this subject, there is no debate. We don't have to debate anything. We know it's failed. We know there are thousands, indeed tens of thousands, indeed hundreds of thousands, indeed millions of kids who are trapped in warehouses with school on them that are not schools. At the same time, we know there are millions of kids in America who get great educations. What's the difference? The difference is local communities and the ability to find excellence. And we've got to let the kids who are trapped find their way to the places where there is excellence. It can be done. It is 1,000 different things, but it is primarily the idea of liberating parents and people to go where those kids are.
Hey! Go home! Corporate greed has got to go! Hey, hey! Go home! Corporate greed has got to go! Hey, hey! Go home! Corporate greed has got to go! Hey, hey! Go home! Corporate greed has got to go! Hey, hey! Got to go!
It was Dick who said, well, let's go out and say hi to them and let's invite them in. Because obviously one of the inclinations is, well, you know, we don't want to, you know, let both sides of the debate be heard. And of course, Dick knows full well that's folly. We should let both sides of a debate be heard. Dick, sum up why you think this whole topic of school choice has become such a hot button issue that would lead 30 or 40 people to bring signs to Bumby and protest. Why is this such a volatile debate in America?
Sure. Well, it concerns the most important thing there is, which is education. And I'm not standing here saying that school choice is necessarily the thing that one would do if one were designing an ideal school system. I think it's pretty good. But I'm saying that not having choice has manifestly failed. And that the only alternative that we hear from the anti-choice community is more money. And man, we have drowned schools in more money. And not only hasn't it worked nationally, the places where we've given more money, we have some of the worst education coming out of it. Now,
the big dichotomy in American education is not public to private. It is choice versus blind assignment. And blind assignment has got to go away, and choice has got to prevail. And you can share that with your neighbors. You can share that movie, explain it to them.
I think you really have to ask yourself, how confident would a company or an entrepreneur or the provider of a service be if they told you the only way they could make their system work is if you're not allowed to shop anywhere else? That's what you have to ask yourself.
I hope tomorrow that everyone in this room calls, you've got a great new governor, calls his office, says, where is our school choice bill? Now, I know that Governor Kasich has a budget problem that he's working with Josh Mandel here to fix, but there's no reason to wait. This is not something that can really delay, because every year that it's punted off is another year of lost kids. And if you take 750 people in a room like this and you ask them to call and call and call, that will go immediately up to the top of the priority list. And that's what Ohio has to do. Has to call the governor and say, get with your legislative leaders, draft the bill, make it happen, and make it quick, because this is an urgent issue for students.
And I will tell you, if you will give people an opportunity to leave failing schools and to go to schools where they are safe and where they can learn through a true school choice system, and if you will once again remember that education is not just about the sharpening of the intellect, it is about the nurturing of the soul and the shaping of the character. If we will get back to that, you can see America's K-12 system once again become the envy and magnet of the entire world, as our higher education system is.